Good morning. It is Thursday. Probably not when you're watching this video, maybe. Almost done with the week, but I'm on call this weekend, so whatever. It's actually kind of a little bit of a rainy day today, so I thought it was a perfect time to do an oil-based pomade. I'm Brandon, also known as Bead136 on the Reddit forums, also known as your mom's favorite pizza boy, and as one of the comments said, the hot Pomp. I don't know what that means, but today I have another product review, and that is Luscious Glory by Pomps Not Dead. Now, right off the bat I'll have to tell you this, I'm a big fan of Pomps Not Dead. It's brewed by Edwin out of, I believe he's in Houston, Texas, but I know he's in Texas, and he's a home brewer. And the reason I like his stuff is because a lot of his stuff has a lot of style and flair to it. The name Pomps Not Dead is based on the documentary Punk's Not Dead, and that's what a lot of his stuff is. If you look at his tins, it's either weird scents or weird type punk references, but all of it's pretty unique, and honestly, all of it's really good. I'm a big fanboy. I like what he does, and I like the guy in general. He's been really nice to me since I've gotten into pomades. He'll usually answer questions, and I have a cool story about him that I'll tell you when I'm applying this stuff, so I don't have to ramble on right now. Excuse me. So what makes this stuff unique is for Pomps Not Dead, it's considered to be the finger breaker. So this is like his super ultra heavy. Now, most of his stuff is his heavy stuff like Firmage or Daily Grind is still pretty heavy, but people were wanting an ultra heavy, so they made this. So let's get into it. This review is for Tailwinds 15 on the Reddit forum because he wanted to know about this, so this is for you, buddy. So let's start off. So the presentation is really cool. As you can see, it's a Stanley Kubrick reference from Clockwork Orange. You know what they say, there's really nothing to it as long as you got the Kubrick. So you can see that it has like one of the kind of references from the movie. It has the main character right there with a pompadour, which I think is awesome. When you bust the tin open, it has the ingredients and it's basically just petro, micro wax, beeswax, castor oil, and scent. So it's all super holding stuff. When you look at it, at the consistency of it, it's kind of like a brownish color. It reminds me a lot of Pompage. So it's in his typical 4-ounce tin. I put little pieces of clear tape on the edge of his because I stack all my pomade in my cupboard. So I put my little Luscious Glory thing right there. So the scent, it's kind of like an orange tangerine fresh scent. I really like it. The easiest way for me to describe how this would smell to somebody is if you ever worked in the automotive industry. I used to work on cars and do auto parts. Then this smells very similar to that orange pumice hand wash. And I actually, some people really hate that stuff. I actually really like the smell of that. So it's more tangerine-y than it is orange, but man, does it smell really good. It's not aggressive either. So here's the most important part. Considering that this thing is called the finger breaker, let's see how it scoops out. So I'll do one scoop on, we'll just start off on the top layer right here. So we'll do a scoop on the top layer. This is putting no pressure really. So no pressure, it scoops out, very, very lightly. But with a little pressure, you can see it comes out and it's pretty creamy. So that's the top layer part, which is surprising to me because I was expecting it to be really hard. And to be honest with you, I feel like this is almost as easy or easier to scoop out than goon grease. Here's what it looks like up close. Definitely oily, definitely greasy. So let's see how the breakdown is. Rub my hands 3 times. Here's how it breaks down. Still kind of chunky, but that's 3 times. So this stuff is like any other heavy. You're going to want to, well, a really big heavy, you're going to want to rub it into your hands and warm it up a little bit because it's got the petro and the wax in it. So here's what it kind of looks like. Still a little chunky. Let's put it in our hair and find out. So when you put it in, like most heavies, there's a little bit of tug and pull. For me, I'm not really feeling a lot. I mean, you look, there's a piece of hair on my hand that popped off when I was applying. So obviously with this stuff, there's going to be a tiny bit of tug and pull, but I wouldn't say it's like as bad as some of the other stuff, like the Malaysia stuff or anything else. So this stuff is manageable in my opinion. So, all right, put it in my hair. And the first thing that you'll notice when you put this stuff in your hair is it's super dense. Like this, he's not fooling around. Like, like this is a heavy pomade through and through. I mean, it's really, really, really thick. And you can feel it in your hair. But that's good if you want to wear this out in the heat. Because if you're looking for something that's going to last, then this is the type of stuff you're going to want to get. Because it's like a really heavy pomade. It's not so shiny like Goon Grease, but if you're not into shiny pomades, then this stuff is going to be right up your alley. Okay, so for this, I already have 3 scoops in. It's starting to get pretty dense. Like I said, you can feel it. This stuff is heavy. And I feel like the hardest part is going to be when I'm combing it through my hair. Because right now, you can still see it in my hair a little bit. This stuff kind of reminds me of, okay, yeah, the application's a little tough, but like I said, it's not too bad. Let me get a good look. Yeah. So, this stuff kind of reminds me of the classic Murray's, except for it's manageable. You know, the regular Murray's stuff, to me at least, you had to, well, maybe you didn't, but I felt like that stuff was just like, I didn't really care for it, but maybe that makes me a wuss or whatever, but I didn't really care for the Murray's. But that's what this kind of reminds me of. It reminds me of like a very old school smelling and feeling pomade. We got it slicked back pretty good. Apple applied. Okay, so this is the part that's going to be tough, at least for my hair, at least the back part. The front slickability is not too bad, but I mean, you can hear it's definitely a hard pomade. So, you know, you're going to have to definitely, when you're combing it through, use a little bit of force, like most hard pomades. I'm trying to get this all sorted through in here. Okay. So once you get it all slicked back, okay, be doing all good. But yeah, it's not too bad on the tug and pull. I mean, like I said, it reminds me of Goon Grease, but I like this a little bit better than Goon Grease, just because I don't like a lot of shine. And that's the other thing. This stuff has shine, but it doesn't have a ton of shine. So, you should be fine with it. Okay. Now, the story, as I kind of do my part and kind of get some of this through. And the other thing is, before I tell the story, this stuff is really dense, so, you know, you're going to want to comb it through a couple of times. I'm actually going to use the boar hair brush to kind of help put some, kind of break it down a little bit more, because if you put a lot into your hair, like I just did, then it's one of those ones that's kind of, that reminds me a little Crystal Lakey, in that you can still see it in your hair a little bit, you know? So you're going to definitely want something to help you. take some time to, make sure you comb it through in your hair. Okay, so we got it all slicked back pretty good. Now the story I wanted to tell you, and I told it in one of my other videos, but who knows if you're going to watch this, if the other people are going to watch all my videos. And also, it's kind of appropriate to tell this because this is about Pomps Not Dead, is Edwin. I was talking to him a while back, and I was having hernia surgery, and I comment on his Instagram and stuff like that, and he mentioned, he was like, "Oh, you're gonna get hernia surgery? Oh yeah, I saw you had an order coming up. I'll have to throw some extra stuff in there." And I thought he was just kind of being like, nice, just kind of like being like, "Oh yeah," like acknowledging that I had surgery, but not that, that he wasn't going to do it. I mean, I don't know. I'm used to people like saying one thing and being cool, but like not following through. And like, what does this guy owe me, And so, anyways, when it comes around, my package comes and there's like 3 other pomades and some like a little button in there and stuff. And I was just like, I was so surprised. Just one, that he kept, not that a person online kept their word, but 2, that this guy just went out of his way because he knew I was going to be in pain to help a brother out. And I just thought that was really cool. Okay, we're doing the styling part. The other thing I like about this stuff, because it's so dense, I can style a really high pomp if I want to. And I'll show you, I'll style kind of a high one, just so you can kind of get an idea. A high one for me, at work at least. And this stuff will hold it. It's good in that sense because it's a heavy. So if I want to go really high at work, you know what? I can. I probably won't, but I'll show you the height that this stuff can get. Okay. A little blocky right now. Let me see if I can get some roundness on this thing. So here's kind of what it looks like if you wanted to pop it up a little bit taller. You can get some height with it. Looking pretty decent. I mean, it's a quick one, but I'm just letting you know, just for your sake, how high you can get. And it'll hold too. That's the thing. So let's do my work safe pomp real quick with this. And once you put this stuff in, you you know what's in. This stuff is dense. Okay, so styling wise, I mean, other than a little bit of tugging and pulling, which is expected out of a super heavy hold. I mean, I don't know. You still get a little tugging and pulling from Lockhart's Goon Grease, and from their heavy, just a little bit. I feel like, man, it's hard to find just one universal pomade, heavy-wise, that's not going to tug and pull when you put it in, if it's a heavy, So there's a little bit of tug and pull. I would say that for my hair, which is kind of on the straighter side, I would say that there's very little tug and pull in this stuff. Just some, like when you first put it in, you're trying to get the application down, or you're trying to like spread it around. There's a little bit, but other than that, not so bad. Okay, let's see here. Whoops, gosh, I keep catching my hair. That's my problem lately, is I keep catching my hair in my part. So I'm gonna call this done for now. Maybe bring up this left side so it doesn't look so uneven. Okay. Alright, so my review of Luscious Glory, now that it's kind of coming to an end, is I like it a lot for heavy. Now this stuff is like, it reminds me of an update of Murray's. So if you don't like Murray's, but you've always wanted to try something that's kind of like Murray's, this is your way to go. Coming from someone that is not a fan of Murray's, I know that there's people like, oh, it's a classic, it's good. That may be, but I never really liked I always felt like I almost had to heat up the tin to get that stuff out. And people are saying, oh yeah, just use a hairdryer to pull it out. I'm like, I'm not using a freaking hairdryer to melt stuff out of my hair. Now this stuff will stay in your hair like an oil-based for a while. Use some typical degreasing techniques to lighten it down. You know, I use some Groom and Clean and Brill cream for like an application to for like a day to kind of soften it up and then wash it out again. So do something like that if you need to get it out. But the buildup's pretty clean in this stuff as well. A lot of the buildup in the Pomps Not Dead is really clean. That's what I like about his stuff as well. Okay, so final verdict on Luscious Glory is I like it. If you like heavy hold and you like really, really heavy hold and you like something that's gonna hold your hair into place and it's gonna hold your hair really good and you want an alternative to goon grease, then this is the way to go. I think it's really good. I think it has all the qualities of a good heavy hold. It's not as sticky as goon grease, so if you're looking for that, you might just get goon grease. But what I would say is, like I said before, this is like a modern Murray's, but way, way, way better, way, way, way updated. So I'd give it a 4.5 out of 10. Considering it's ultra heavy, it might not be, or sorry, gosh, I've been doing this lately. A 4 out of 5. I've been giving these ratings. I always want to say out of 10, but no, it's out of 5. So I'd give it a 4 out of 5. It's a great heavy hold pomade, ultra heavy hold pomade. It's easy to scoop, easy to put in. Like it has the qualities of every other heavy pomade in that there's going to be some tug and pull. It's going to be a little bit difficult at times to deal with. But if you've used Murray's and you've used other really heavy hold stuff, but you want a little bit more slickness, easy to apply, easy to get out, then this is what I would go for. It's like a modern day classic is what I'd call it. So where you can get it is, as of right now, the only place I've seen that has a lot of Pomps Not Dead stuff is the Pomade Club. They have a lot of their weird stuff, so check them out.